All right, holy crying crickets, right? So I was just checking out my last post. Hey, thanks for everybody for sticking with me on this. It's been kind of a long road. We're getting over a couple things. We got the CT scan back for the husky, so it looks like it's okay. Looks like we got to find some other treatment. So that's what's growling or down there chuffing away. That's her down there. So I'm just gonna move forward. Couple things I just wanted to say. I've been working out here on the ESP32. I've been trying to do some sort of it's a sound, kind of like a sound detection. And then the other day, I think you might have saw this. I printed out this 3D case, and I just kind of want to explain what's going on and well, what is the idea of what I do here. So the idea is that I'm taking small steps or small projects, and I'm trying to show you that with persistence, you can just keep building up until they get bigger. One of the things I was trying to do with this is I was trying to add the OLED, and I'm trying to do like a microphone. This is like a microphone kind of sensor, and what it has is like I think it's like a compare chip that just says like what's the input voltage, and it heads out into the analog, into the Arduino or into the ESP, and you kind of have a pot that you can change the threshold. So I find that it's not the right sensitivity for what I want. It looks like I kind of want like a preamp or something. So one of the ideas I had was to do a north, south, east, west kind of pointing of the microphone, and then put some sort of cones. And then, to be honest, I was just trying to figure out where are the fireworks blowing off in my neighborhood, because I can always hear them blow off, and then I look, and then there's some sort of cloud that's near the area, but it's traveling pretty fast. So I'm not in a super windy area, but definitely there's a coastal breeze that changes the smoke, so I can't see exactly where it set off. The idea would be is that I think there's some others out there that are kind of like they're kind of like gunshot. They listen for gunshots, and so that's not. I don't need to know about gunshots. I was just trying to come up with sort of an idea that's kind of fun and not too complicated, and I could basically just look at the analog input and then just give me an if statement and say, oh, if it's this sensor, then it's north. If it's this sensor, it's south. Kind of like that. So right now I'm just sort of chugging away at the code and piecing it together. It looks like I got the OLED working. Looks like I got the sensor working, and the ESP obviously is always good because it's a Wi-Fi kind of chip. So also I not to jump around too much, but I did do a what's in the bag before, and I have kind of a lot of stuff, and I'm not sure I want to show that, but I think maybe I can just rip through it really quickly, and then I'll just sort of narrate it, and we'll get through it. That way, I get it off of my desk here, this beautiful, immaculately clean desk, uh, and maybe there's some things that spark ideas or something like that. But okay, so let me get into it real quick, so I just continue on with this sort of idea of what's going on. So we do what's in the bag. It's usually I go out shopping and I pick up something and I kind of bring it back. Some things are redundant, you may see, but I'm under the idea that having two items is the way to go. Nowadays, after this chip shortage and all this other nonsense of like can't get anything, I've been just buying two of everything. That way I don't get stuck. So one idea is I make the project, and then I have this spare uh, sensor or spare microcontroller that I can actually program again and then change it around. Or I can just stick to the original and change that. But it gives me more versatility in being able to be flexible, because I can, I've got tons of these things that are just kind of locked into so they're just kind of locked into this. You see this spool of a rat's nest? Well, this is obviously for a chip. So this had the chip, and I transferred it off to a PCB, but I just haven't had time to unplug the wires and do that stuff. So just staying with the idea that, you just keep moving forward, and, don't get two of everything. That's basically what I'm saying. All right, so I'm not sure what this is. I picked this thing up. This looks like it was on the shelf or something like that, but it's definitely like a perf board or a proto board. You can see it's just kind of a perforated board, and then there's kind of the 6-pin kind of connector right here. I don't think that's a JST connector. I just think it's some sort of connector, and it looks like someone's already soldered it, but it looks like it's got nice holes, really tight pattern. There's actually two. It actually looks like there's two spacings here. There's one spacing here and another spacing. So maybe this is 1 millimeter and this is 0.5, but definitely I just picked up this board because it was just interesting. And then you say, well, why is it interesting? Sometimes you may have some spacing in your microcontrollers that, or if you pick up a chip, an IC, and you want to put it onto a different board. So that's always good to have two different pin pitch. I think as you look at something like I think they call this castellated. So this is the Pico, and you can see that it's castellated here. So you can actually just solder it right onto a board, but sometimes if you have pins and you have like a proto board or something like that, it kind of gets stuck. So similar to this one. So the spacing is right. All right, so that's why I picked that one up. Okay, right here I got myself an IR detector. I think I got 4 of these. And it has the send and receive on this IR. So one of the other ideas I was thinking about is, I'll pull each one out as I do it. This is the second one. I have 4 of these, and the idea is that I work in high tech, and we have well, we basically have wafers, silicon wafers, and as you check how centered they are onto a unit, I'm just going to come up with the idea of putting sort of 4 detection sensors near a robot, and then the wafer, and then possibly put the circuit onto the wafer. And what that means is, as I rotate it, I should be able to see some sort of proximity between the detection of all 4 sensors. So that would give me the X and Y value that I'm looking for. I basically only need 2, right? 2 sensors, but sometimes it's kind of cool to have all 4. And then when you basically, the robot would place the wafer onto like a here, something like this, and then it would place it on here, and then I would know how centered that wafer is. And a lot of stuff I do is I train people, and sometimes it's good to show concepts and ideas so people understand what they're trying to do. And sometimes a lot of people are visual; they're visual learners, so they need to know that stuff. All right, moving on. This is ESP32. That's probably ESP number 32, number 4, or maybe number 5. And you say, Tom, why are you buying all these? Well, I'm buying all of these because one is the Wi-Fi chip. It's a super cheap. It's just super cheap, and it gives you Wi-Fi compatibility. So if you buy Arduino, it's cool that you can do Arduino. You can do everything, but as soon as you get out of, analog digital, you're stuck, right? And you want to start doing Wi-Fi, or you want to start doing transfer, you're stuck. So now they have the Rev 4 of the Uno, which has Wi-Fi. But even now, I look at it, and I don't know what the cost is. I'm sure it's cranked up. And the WeMOS D1 is like an Arduino knockoff with Wi-Fi capability. It has the ESP, 8266 chip on it. And that one's the same idea. It's like you're limited in your connections, but you also have Wi-Fi. So I used to do Arduino with the shields, and I used to do Ethernet, and I don't know, it just never worked for me. So I decided to just learn some other stuff. All right, here's a second one. This is what they're calling a voice detect. So this is another microphone here. This is similar to this one. Same thing. That's out of the bag. So I'm going through it pretty quickly. If I'm going too fast, just go to the settings and slow down the speed. Just to let you know, there's a guy named UPIR, I think it is, and super smart guy. He does great YouTube videos, but I gotta go in there and I gotta go to settings and I gotta take him down because he's talking so fast and he's doing things so fast that I just slow him down, and then it's like normal speed. So that's just a tip from me to you out there. Go into your settings and slow down those people on YouTube if they're going too fast. If this is too fast for you, slow it down. It'll be all right. All right, so let me just throw it out there because I appreciate everything that Anchor Electronics is doing out there. I'm not sponsored by them. They don't pay me. I don't even think they know I'm doing this, but I think they need to be known out there. And if you come to Silicon Valley, you should definitely come and see it. I better go.